Hey everybody, this is Malika of Evanston Live TV, and we have with us a very special guest. Many of you know her, Miss Allie Payne. She is realtor extraordinaire throughout the North Shore. She's part of Compass now.
Mhm.
Compass. And let me tell you, Allie, aside from being just a woman about town, I mean, every fundraiser you go to, I think everybody sees Allie.
Well, I love wearing those dresses. You only get once a month or so to put on a tight, sparkly dress, and I'm going to take all my opportunities.
But you're on like so many boards and you're always giving and giving. I'm like, this woman is just, you are a giver. You're a giver. Absolutely.
Right, but one thing this pandemic thing has shown is it really separates the men from the boys as far as giving.
Mm.
Some people are, I'm on boards, which is kind of a hands-off thing. You're voting and you're trying to raise money. But when I look at some people that are in the thick of it, like boots on the ground, really out in the streets, everything that connections and the why, all these people are really, they're diving deep.
Mm.
Susan at Kurtz is in that kitchen making meals and now they're delivering food baskets in Lake County. I mean, the depth of their giving makes mine just look like child's play.
Wow. Where do you find all the time? You're one of the top realtors. I remember you were the #1 realtor over at Dreamtown, and then you moved over to Compass. Like, how, girl, where do you find, and you're a mom. I mean,
Well, all my kids are grown, so that takes that's a whole block of time now that you have when you're not dealing with them. But I think that when people say they don't have time for something, that's code for I don't want to do something, because there's a lot of time in the day. Like I say, I don't have time to work out because I don't want to work out, but I have plenty of time to do what I really want to do. You make time. Every single mom that's been dating has had the experience where somebody calls them and they're like, figure out who's going to pick up all the kids and get a pizza and go to Target and get some, pantyhose or whatever you got to do, because that's important to you. So if you are sitting in your house and you know somebody in need and you say, I don't have time, that really means I don't care. That's how I look at it.
Mm. So I know your hands are full with what's going on with the real estate market. I have friends who are, on the West Coast and the East Coast. Um, so what I'm understanding, and let me know if it's the same for Evanston, is a lot of the big cities, they had the high concentration of COVID-19. So a lot of people are like moving out to the suburbs like in droves right now. Do you see that happening here, like with Chicago to Evanston?
Not so much. I think that people that have a vacation house somewhere or are retirement age and they want to move to Florida or whatever, now is the time for that. But we're not considered rural enough for that to happen. And the price range. So the most active price range right now are the lower price ranges, like someone that rents. If you're renting in a crowded building that you really never liked, and there's a lot of drama involved with that, can you pay the rent? If the landlord doesn't pay his mortgage, what's going to happen? Those people want to get their own condo because there's a little more secure feeling when you own something than when you're just renting. Who wants to move during the middle of a pandemic because your lease is up or whatever? So anything from under 450, let's say, is really selling because people want that sense of security right now. The interest rates are low, prices are good. If something's move-in condition and it's under 450, it's selling right away. And conversely, if something's over 900, let's say, and it's in perfect, gorgeous move-in condition, that's also selling because those people aren't as worried about their jobs, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, they got money stashed.
Yeah, they're in a different economic stratosphere where this hasn't affected them. They haven't been laid off, that kind of thing. So those are the two price ranges and two scenarios that are really, really active. But in all across the board, even before the pandemic, the houses that sold fastest were the ones that looked, I made this term up, Instagram house. Like, what kind of house do you want to take a picture of and say, look at my new house? It's not one with old wallpaper and, dirty carpet and all that. It's looks like a hotel lobby. That's the kind of house that always sells. And now more than ever, because people are buying on video. I just sold a house where the people have never been there. Never.
Wow.
Yeah, they looked online. I FaceTimed with them because, you know, even if you see something online, you want to see what's inside the closet, or, you know, what's in that little corner over there. I'm not showing you, when I take a video of a house in general and put it on MLS, I'm not showing you the corner of the basement. So I go there with my FaceTime camera and show them exactly what's this and what brand of washer and dryer and all that. And they bought it completely on the internet.
Wow.
So that's, you know, that really shows how important the pictures are, because they're not the only ones doing that.
Wow. So like how does inspection and all of that work during this pandemic?
Same way. So the inspector went there by himself.
Mhm.
I was outside so that if, you know, something came up, I could go in and take a closer look at it and FaceTime the people, whatever was happening in there. But nowadays, inspectors give you such a complete report with pictures and everything that a lot of people, even if they're before this, if they're in the same town, rather than sit in a house with the inspector for 3 or 4 hours, they just look at the summary and look at the pictures, and that's it. People are really crunched for time.
Mm. Mm.
So 4 hours with an inspector is a lot.
Right. Wow. So wow, more people are buying just off of video, an Instagram buy. That's amazing how much social media has had such an impact on society where
It
people.
really is, and it's terrible, really, if you think about it, because that means that a great house that's solid, that's has no real issues, but maybe they have old-fashioned furniture and they haven't had the money to do some of the updates. That's going to get a way lower price than something that's a little, you know, has an old roof, or maybe the basement leaks, but it looks gray and white and it's got staged furniture. That's going to get a higher price. And in the end, for a buyer, that's not your best deal.
Mm.
And
Mm.
when they take that furniture out, you still have a leaky basement and an old roof.
Mm. Mm. So so how, okay, so right now you're doing things pretty much via video. People are buying, you know, what is the term? Sight
And
unseen?
that's not everybody, though. Most people are kind of narrowing it down. So when I used to show someone 20 houses in person,
Mm.
now I'm showing them 10 houses on a video, and they'll come see 2 or 3 in person. And
Mm.
I think that's something that's going to stick even after the pandemic, because the 20 house thing was always, it was kind of like just kicking tires, you
Mm.
know? And now nobody wants to take that risk or take that time. They're working from home. They have kids at home. They can't really leave them to go see all these 20 houses. So I think that's something that's going to stick around now for the duration.
And what's your take on what's going to happen with the market when the lockdown is lifted? And you know, we're going to be impacted probably for the next couple of years just based off of what's happened since January, February, to a lot of small business owners and just people being laid off. They don't even know if they have a job to return to. So how do you see the market moving, let's say come fall, like, you know, if it happens to lift? Well, let's say, I don't even think it's, I would say 2021, January 2021. What do you think the market is going to look like then? Oh, I can't hear you. Allie, I can't hear you.
Hear me either?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. Well, all the economic, I shouldn't say all, because if you listen to 10 economic forecasts, 5 are going to say one thing and 5 are going to say the other.
Okay.
But what I know from experience is that people don't buy when they don't feel confident.
Mm.
So I think for right now, there's a huge pent up demand. That's true. People want to move. They have to move, some of them. And what we're seeing right now is sales are down just because the amount of listings is way, way down. But again, things that look great and are priced great are selling, some before they even get on the market, some with bidding wars.
Mm.
If your house has been languishing on the market for a long time during this, that means you got to change something. You got to change the price. You got to change the updates on it. Get a new countertop, that kind of thing. But if it looks great and it's perceived as a bargain, snapped right up. And I think that's going to continue probably through the fall because we have the stimulus, we have the unemployment, what's the thing called? Bonus, the $600 a week. And we have the mortgage forbearance, which is really, I feel, keeping a lot of things afloat. Because if I can't pay my mortgage for some reason, I lost my job or my business is closed, and I don't have to pay my mortgage for an entire year, that takes some of the pressure off, and that takes the quick, fast, snap decision to put it on the market. That takes that off the table. So I think for a little while, things are going to be okay in real estate. Now, what I don't know is in 2021, when some businesses that closed, we thought temporarily, don't ever open up again. Now and the stimulus and all that is over, that's when I think we're going to see a drop in prices. That's my unexpert economic forecast. But if people don't have jobs, and it's a trickle up theory. So if the people in sort of the starting range can't afford that first condo, those people can't buy the next house, and those people can't buy the next house. And it slows everything way, way down.
Mm. I was telling you, I just had a interview with Reverend Dr. Michael Neighbors, and he was talking about that there's a group, starting a plan for, he calls it the year of the Jubilee, where everyone's debt is cleared and everybody has a clean slate. And especially now during COVID-19, it would only be right to give everybody a clean slate. So how would something, if God, I cross my fingers that can happen, the year of the Jubilee would be just awesome for so many people. How would that affect your industry if everybody just clean slate?
Clean slate as in you don't owe anybody anything? Oh, I hope that does happen. That would be awesome. I've been saying for the longest, and some other people I really like have said, if they eliminated college debt, student loans, that should be forgiven. That would open up so much, because those people are the people we're talking about. The first time buyers or the move up buyers still have these giant, enormous student loan debts. And that is holding a lot of people back. I can't say you should be forgiven for buying, that Rolex. That I don't know. I love it because that would work for me. But the student loan debt would really increase a lot of buying power and put all that money into the economy. If a kid is used to paying $1,000 a month for this debt and now they don't have it, most likely they're not going to save that $1,000 a month. They're going to go out and buy something, a house, a car, something they're going to buy, and that's going to help stimulate the economy. But back to what you're saying, I really think what they have to do, and Susie Orman said this, is freeze people's credit. Like whatever your credit score was in January, that's what it should be. All these months in between here should not count on your credit. That would also be helpful.
Yeah, that would be helpful too. Yeah, that would be helpful. And if they do have the year of the Jubilee, that'd be a great time to be a realtor, wouldn't it?
Well, the thing that's holding us back as realtors is the lack of inventory, because people are nervous about putting their houses on the market. Let's say you have a $300,000 condo, you want to go buy a house, but there's no house for you to buy, so you can't put yours on the market. So everything kind of works together in a system. So yeah, the more money that's available, the more confident people feel, the more that would help me. And help them, because right now, if the virus is supposed to be less communicable in the summer months, then this is the perfect time for you to make that move before whoever knows what's going to happen when it becomes cold out again. So it should be pretty active this summer, and if some changes like that are made, then it'll make it even better.
Allie, what was one of the main reasons you got involved in real estate? Because you have such an amazing reputation on the North Shore. I mean, you've been doing it for years. So many people do not survive, the first, 6 months to a year of being a realtor. They fall out, or they do it part-time and just, it becomes like a little hobby. If they sell something, great. If they don't, they have a job. You have been able to maintain for so many years in such a tough industry. And then there's always something, we had the real estate, the mortgage crash, and then, I mean, you survived that. And then now we have COVID-19, and you are still doing your thing. Like, what drove you into this industry, and what has kept you going so strong? It's a
Well,
tough
first of
industry.
all, thank you so much. That's very, as an independent contractor, you have those days where you're like, oh my God, everybody hates me. Nobody's ever going to call me, and then to hear compliments like that really keep you going. But I would say I don't have any choice. I don't have a college degree. I've been doing this since I was like 28 years old. So this is what I do. And what got me started in it, I always loved houses. I thought selling real estate was about houses. It wasn't for years that I realized it was about people. But when my then husband and I were looking for houses, this was way back in the day when there was no internet really. And so it all depended on which agent you knew. And we just felt a little intimidated by the whole process and being African American. And it just was a very uncomfortable feeling. We met a really nice agent named Rose Bartlebaugh at Coldwell Banker. She was elderly then, but she was hilarious and she was super nice, and she just made us feel, now was she the world's greatest agent? I don't even know to this day, but she made us feel good and confident about buying. So she made it look easy. So I was like, oh, I could do that. I'll sell like 1 or 2 houses a year and pay for our vacation. And the next thing you know, it just took off. And yeah, to your point, a lot of people, like right now during the pandemic, people have called me and said, I'm getting my real estate license. And I try to be encouraging, but what I've learned all these years is there's zero correlation between how smart you are, how aggressive you are, how well-known you are. There's no correlation between who is successful and who's not. It's just like a certain thing that you're either good at or you're just not. And I don't know what that factor is. But it's a great lifestyle, and it's a great, I feel like I'm helping people in a different way. Maybe I'm not feeding you, or I'm not, um, sheltering homeless people, but a lot of people that are selling their houses, it's not a happy situation. There's some kind of distress leading them. It's a divorce, they've lost their job, they're relocating and they're nervous. Even under the best of circumstances, they're scared and nervous. And so if I can help them at all through that, I think makes me feel good, and hopefully makes them feel a little bit better in a stressful time.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Allie, for your time.
Well, I got plenty of it. So if you anytime you want to have a video chat, just give me like 24 hours notice so I can blow dry my hair and find a shirt that I'll be good.
And she has a sense of humor. I mean, Allie is just, one of the things I think people love about you, Allie, is you are very upfront. You don't sugarcoat. You're very honest and transparent. This is what it is. You are very frank.
Because I've been criticized for that so many times. So much I've been criticized. But I think, the only thing we have, and I think the pandemic has shown you, the only thing you have in this world is time. That's all you have. So I don't have it to waste. I hope you don't have it to waste. And you came to me for information, and I'm going to give it to you. And I mean, I don't know how else to be. So some people like it, some people don't like it, but I am way too old at this point to try to change myself. This is just, it is what it is.
I hear you, girl. I hear you. Well, we appreciate you, and we thank you. We thank you for all that you do. I know you say, you don't feed the homeless and, things like that, but people are always inviting you to fundraisers because you're a giver.
I think it's because I dance and they laugh. They see me out there dancing and they're like, oh, that was worth it. That was worth seeing that bad dancing was worth the price of admission. That's what
You're just an awesome individual, an amazing woman here on the North Shore, and we thank you for all that you do here. Thank you.
And I thank you, Malika, because you are very consistent. You showcase a lot of people that normally would not have had a platform. And you're always doing it. You never stop. And we appreciate you too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And let everybody know where they can contact you, where they can reach you, because I'm sure some people who are like, I need to get away from this landlord and buy me something right now.
Yes, that is true. That you can reach me. Everybody has my phone number, 312-752-0055. If you want to email me, it's allie.payne@compass.com. But one thing I want to say, Malika, before I go, is that back to the concept of making your house look great. One thing that Compass offers is a loan to do the fixing up of your house that you don't pay back until closing. And the reason, I know a lot of other companies are doing this now, but one of the reasons I joined Compass was because of this program. I see it as a way to level the playing field so that, especially an elderly seller that doesn't see the benefit of putting out $10,000 or $15,000 that he may not get back in cash, can roll this into their proceeds from their mortgage. So it's a little bit less risk in their mind, and that means that someone that I don't know how to put this, but someone that may have sold their house the way that it looks and get far, far less than yuppies down the block whose house looks a little bit better, still the same house, but you know what I mean. One looks better and one doesn't. This gives them both the opportunity to make the same profit. That's I don't think I'm explaining it all the way correctly, but I think that's a way that we can put more money into people's pockets at the end of the day. And right now, when you're taking all that money to retire and move to wherever you are, the bottom line matters a lot.
Yes, yes. No, I get what you're saying. I get what
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, because it could be the same type of build, the same type of house, same year it was built. I mean, almost identical, but one just put more upgrades into it than, their neighbor did. And then so,
Even say taste, just the same priorities as another set of people.
mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm,
you've been raised to have your same furniture from 1950. You
mm-hmm,
shouldn't be penalized for that. So what
right.
this program does is it not only helps you with, say, the painting and all of that, but it pays for your storage space. It pays for staging furniture so that the playing field is more level
Mm-hmm.
without cash coming out of your pocket.
And that staging is important. I've
It's
seen
vital.
stage. I'm like, wow, that is a huge difference.
And most of the time, you can't even sit on that furniture. It's literally from Amazon, and underneath is made of cardboard, but it's just the look. It creates a stage, because if you're looking online, you're just clicking 2 or 3 times, and if the first 2 or 3 pictures don't match your lifestyle, your Instagram idea, you just dismiss that house.
Mm,
So if we can make it look good without money coming out of your pocket, you have a fighting chance in this new market.
mm,
And I think that can make the difference between not $10,000 or $15,000, but $50,000.
mm.
That's important.
Instagram, I think you started a whole new real estate.
Catchphrase.
All right, Allie. So we're going to get going. I got um, Officer Howard uh, up next. So we're going to get
Tell
rolling.
him to check his text, because I just texted him and asked him for a favor and he hasn't replied yet. So tell him that
Evanston is so small. Like, oh, for real? Because he hasn't responded to my text.
Right. You can't tell me he's busy. I know exactly where he is. So.
All right, lady.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks,
so much,
Malika.
Allie, for your time. Okay.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
All right, you guys, this has been Malika, Evanston Live TV, and that was Miss Allie Payne of Compass Realty. You all be sure to check her out. That's allie.payne@compass.com. The girl is bad. She has been doing this real estate game for so many years. I don't want to put her out there as like she's old. You see how stunning and beautiful she is, but she is just so respected and just such a good heart, and full of knowledge about this whole entire real estate market, how it works from the highs and the lows to what's happening now with COVID-19. But definitely, if you're in the market or thinking about it, I know a lot of people are right now. Um, she's someone you definitely want to get in touch with. So again, as always, I leave in every video. Be sure that you keep your 6 feet distance, people. Wash your hands, wear your gloves, definitely wear your mask when you leave the house. Take your shoes off at your front door so you're not tracking COVID-19 into your house, and just be very conscious, stay engaged, see what's going on out there. I know the news can be depressing and consuming, but please stay engaged, know what's going on at all times, because decisions are being made that can impact your livelihood as well as your life right now. Okay? You guys have a great day. This is Malika, Evanston Live TV. Stay tuned for more amazing guests.